All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another gameplay video. Today, we're gonna take a bit of a different course here with a Sultai Control deck. So, Sultai, as probably a lot of you standard players know, has kind of fallen out of the meta a little bit, but we do have a lot of really strong cards. So potentially, or at the ceiling of this deck, in my opinion, is Casualties of War. This card is amazing. Absolutely love it. Super devastating to get like a 3-for-1 off of this, which I think is fairly reasonable to expect. Definitely a 2-for-1 is like bottom barrel. You're probably going to get something with it. Land, obviously, probably a creature, maybe a planeswalker or something like that. So there's a lot you can hit with this. Not only that, but with enchantment creatures obviously being a little bit more popular from the new Theros Beyond Death set, there's also enchants, and this hits an enchantment and potentially a creature, so a lot of really cool versatile things. A Blast from the Past Liliana Dreadhorde General, just a really powerful planeswalker. We are running Nissa, Who Shakes the World, the new Ashiok, which I'm pretty excited to play with. And then Vraska, which is just a solid one. I'm a little like skewed on these planeswalkers here. I don't know if I love them. We do have a one of Tameo as well to help us dig through our deck. Again, not 100% sure on this, but this is just kind of a good starting point list that I was able to find. Uro, we do run a 4 of. It does ramp us, draw us cards, gain us a little bit of life. It kind of does everything you want for a control deck. So an absolutely perfect card. Thought Erasure here for some early kind of interaction. Tyrant, Scorn to deal with some particular creatures as they become a problem. Growth Spiral obviously to help us ramp. It makes a really good instant speed end of turn on the opponent's side of the field. Just great play. Paradise Druid, a little unsure about this one. It does ramp us into all of the cool things that we're looking to do in the late game, which is awesome. And it does have hexproof as long as it's untapped too, which is great. But I feel like, you know, there's not really a good sweeper, for instance, in this this list. I feel like that would be something we'd be interested in, but if need be, this can obviously trade off with some early game threats as needed. And then, of course, Hydroid Krasis, value engine all the way around. We are running 27 lands, which is quite a lot, but we do have a lot of things that really want some heavy mana, including that Hydroid Krasis. So we're going to do our best here to run through some standard ranked. I have not play tested at all with this deck. I did build a deck very similar to it back in the day, which I absolutely loved. But I have no idea if it's still actually, well, at all viable. Probably not as much as a lot of these other decks. So let's go ahead. This is definitely a keep. Definitely like this hand. I think we lead on Thought Erasure. And then we can Uro maybe the next turn, and then Growth Spiral our way into hopefully some action. So Enters tapped. Also, as I've mentioned in previous videos, if you look down below, we have our cycle of February rewards for our proxies on Patreon. If you're interested in picking those up, you definitely can. Ooh, this is a very strong hand. So they do not have another land, which is very important. We could take the light up the stage in the hopes that they don't draw a land. If they do, that's going to feel really bad. I think it's either that or the War Boss. I'm going to take a speculative pick, and take that. We'll go ahead and put this Uro in the graveyard, though. We're looking for maybe a little bit more removal-heavy things. Oh, they did get the land. That's not good. Don't know if that was the right pick. It could very easily not have been, but it was worth a shot. Well, that is a card. So we'll enter tapped here, and we'll just pass. If they do get another land and play like a War Boss, for instance, we really want to be able to deal with that. Yep. If not, we'll hit this robber for sure. against these mono red decks, I just don't feel like this is a very strong option, and that's kind of my frustration with it. But we'll see. I do think with the addition of some sweepers, which we might actually, what we'll probably do is like a video or two of this list, and then maybe try and see what else we can come up with long term. I think we'll go ahead and do this here. Gain at least a little bit of life back. Draw ourselves a card. If it's a land, we just get to straight play it, which would be amazing. A island would be perfect. It is not. It is a Casualties of War, which in this position, if they don't draw another land, is like, you know, it's a couple turns away, but it's not terrible, as long as we can live that long. So we'll see. Man. Well, Legion Warboss, I assume, is going to be coming down. They could also just, you know, throw this out or throw out Chandra. They've got so many good options here. It definitely doesn't look like we're winning this game against these aggro decks. Unfortunately, I just don't think we've got a great game plan, but we'll see what we can do. We'll play it out for sure. Yep. Assumed the Legion Warboss would come in. Take 5 here. That means we got less than 2 turns, really. Considering that they've got a Legion Warboss out, we're going to be taking a lot more than that next turn. This is the position, again, where a sweeper I feel like would be beneficial. So we'll make note of that. We'll make changes as needed as well. I think we just have to... I mean, I can take 2 here in Nissa, and then... That feels so bad, but I think we'll just... I don't think there's a way that we get out of this, though. Could have attacked there, I suppose, but don't think it's going to matter. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... but plus this. So yeah, I think we just lose here because they've got up that. Yeah. All right, we lose there. Unfortunately, just a little bit of a slow start on our end, and against that aggro deck, just not gonna make it. So we'll run it through 2 more games. So we'll see if we can hopefully pull out at least 1 win. If not, then obviously we've got a little bit more work to do, and that's fine. If we do manage to get at least another win or 2, we might do like another video with this specific list. But if we find ourselves, you know, just really not getting there, then it's definitely worth it to kind of change things up. Yeah, I think I can keep this. I can Fabled Passage for Island turn 1, and then Forest into another land. So yeah, this will ramp us fairly well at the very least, and get us hopefully to a Nissa or just a really strong Hydroid Graces. Excuse me. I really do hope you guys are enjoying these gameplay videos, by the way. This is something that, you know, on and off again, we try and jump into some gameplay, but it just doesn't always pan out the way we would like with schedules and things like that. I've finally invested a little bit of time and money into more of a dedicated setup for this kind of thing. And so hopefully the intent, at least, is that it makes it a whole lot easier for me to just sit down and record some stuff and then get some stuff out for you guys. So certainly would appreciate some feedback if you guys have any. And we'll pass here. At the end of the turn, we'll Growth Spiral into probably just Overgrown Tomb. And then we'll see what we can do after that. Go ahead and do this here. Yep. So they are a green-black deck. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and Uro here. Draw ourselves a card. We'll put the island on the battlefield. Then we can Fabled Passage here. And we'll go ahead and crack this. Getting a swamp for our second black. playing to the end of either Liliana or Casualties of War. So getting 2 of both green and black is very important for us. We do need a second usable either green or black source. So we'll keep that in mind as we further ourselves into this game. Yeah, you got it. Yurvo's a sweet one. Growth Spiral, interesting. So we can start trying to tick this up or down, depending on how we want to do it, or we can try and shoot for this. What is the best option? You know, I think doing this, since they've got so little pressure, this might be the way to do this. Let's do this. So let's bounce Yurvo. And then have them exile a card. Probably not going to be anything too substantial here, but we'll find out. This obviously does open up the possibility for them to just swing in at Ashiok, and that's fine, I think. With the Paradise Druid. That next turn allows us, if we draw a land, we can Dreadhorde General. Which would be really sweet, because then hopefully we can just make them sacrifice 2 creatures. Yep. Wow. Okay. Well, that's definitely good. My assumption is they either take Lily or Nissa, both of which are very powerful. Hydroid Crisis also good, but don't think it's their first concern. And they did not do anything there. Interesting. Well, let's plus. Can't do that yet, so let's do this. And they know our hands, so let's just go ahead and do this. All right. I'm assuming they've got another hand destruction spell. That would just make the most sense. Oh, Wicked Wolf. Very cool. Just a Golgari mid-range deck. Very sweet, though. Do I care about this Paradise Druid? Not really. And I kind of want to fill up the yard so we can get Uro down. So that's fine. If I do this minus, they sacrifice, I'm assuming Wicked Wolf and Paradise Druid. And then they swing in. I think that's enough to matter. The other option is I can cash this in on what? I guess Wicked Wolf, but that doesn't seem great. Let's do this. Let's make them sack 2 creatures. I assume it'll be Paradise Druid and Wicked Wolf. And then we will plus up Ashiok to at least have a blocker. The name of the game here, in my opinion, is protect the walkers as much as possible. We know they have hand destruction, and we know they obviously have a large number of creatures, so let's do our best to mitigate those threats as best we can. Obviously, if they... Wow, interesting. So they must have something really strong coming. Very, very interesting. We'll see. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Create our zombie. Create this. We'll pay 2 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or do we just want to play Uro? Let's actually just play Uro. It trades off perfectly if we need it to. Also gains us a little bit of life back. Should not have played the Watery Grave untapped. That was a mistake. I did think I was doing something else there, though. So we'll go ahead and fetch here. Do we have? Yeah, we have 1 land left. Okay. Yep. No attacks. Let's see what they got. Definitely powerful. That Rotting Regisaur is very good. The great thing about these decks is just that you get so many tokens, which is awesome. And then with Liliana, anytime a creature of ours dies, we just draw cards. Like, cool, I'm in. They discarded a Casualties of War. I'm assuming they just don't have the mana, so they figured we'll just get rid of that. Makes sense. All right, create our zombie. Here we can bounce the Regisaur. I think we're gonna do that. Let's make him replay it. That also allows us to get a very good attack in here. And if one of our creatures dies, that's fine. Then we can also Hydroid Krasis on the backswing. Oops, not what I meant to look at. Okay. Let's attack it. Okay. Good, good. It's a very clean answer for sure. We'll pay 2. Big Hydroid Krasis coming for sure. The other option would be to do this. I think I'm going to refill the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's auto pay, that's fine. Very good. We'll Temple. I weirdly think we keep that. I know they have only got 2 cards in hand, 3 cards now. But I think that's actually fine. All right, what you got, opponent? I feel like we're in a pretty decent position. If they deal with a Hydroid Krasis, they can definitely take out Ashiok, which seems like not a bad play on their end. And then they could play like Rotting Regisaur and have, you know, a decent backswing. But we'll see. I do really like this Ashiok. I feel like it's doing a lot of good work here. This is the first time in Constructed that I've gotten to play with Ashiok. I have played in Draft with it. Okay, play out the hand. I like it. And they concede. Okay, so we did get a win with it. Didn't need the sweeper that time. I think that was a really interesting matchup too. We don't have a ton of removal until we get the walkers down, but when we do, it seems to really, really take off. So let's go for one last game. This will be our 3rd game. We'll see how we do. Again, if we lose, well, if we win or lose, we'll definitely be evaluating, this list a little bit to see if maybe there's some changes we want to make as we go through. I wonder if sweepers are worth it now that I have seen how it plays out with so many very powerful walkers. I'm not sure. I will keep this hand though. This is a pretty solid one. Temple of Mystery. I don't think we want the Growth Spiral. We kind of just want to draw lands to get up to Casualties at this point. We do have some ramp though, which is nice. I'm going to guess this is like the Jund weird deck. Let's pay 2. Was going to do something different, but let's Thought Erasure. Ooh. Ooh. Why did... I guess did they draw this? That's interesting. Let's take Krinko. Krinko is a scary card. I do not want to face that, especially against this deck where, like, you know, we've got some answers, but not a ton. They are, I assume, going to Kroxa. Yep. So we will have to discard a card. Do I discard Paradise Druid or Growth Spiral? Actually, I think it's Growth Spiral. I don't know that that's 100% correct, but we'll see. Enters tapped. Let's get Paradise Druid online. Next turn we do have the Vraska if we want it. Excuse me. And without even actually tapping Paradise Druid if we need to. I assume they're just gonna like Kroxa again. Oh, Mayhem Devils. Okay, yeah. Let's do this. We'll minus, get rid of Mayhem Devil. We will attack here. My assumption is they might just bedevil Vraska here. If we can draw a land, we're like golden. Yeah, any land actually gets us there. That'd be sweet. Kind of hope they just bedevil Vraska here. Yep. Fine. Oh, not the land we were hoping for. Let's go ahead and play this out for 3. There's our land. So my worry here is that they just Kroxa again, in which case we're going to have to make some fairly substantial decisions. Instead, they ley line. What is the safer play? I kind of just want to casualties. That doesn't seem amazing. Let's do this. Start swinging in for a little bit. Excuse me. If they want to be proactive, we'll discard the Thought Eraser, and then we can deal with whatever's on the backswing here. Yeah, that's fine. Scry. Ooh, it's not a bad one. I'll keep that on top. Destroy target land, target enchantment, and target creature. Enchantment and temple. That's fine. That 3-for-1, always feeling nice. Okay, let's do this. Let's swing in. All right, let's see what they got. If they play Kroxa, we ditch Thought Eraser, obviously, that's fine. Do this. I think we just attack with everything. Get him down as low as possible. And then up this to 4. There we go. Yep, get a couple cards. Ooh, second casualties, that's sweet. And Paradise Druid is discard fodder, I'm in. Can you do it, opponent? Nope. I think we got this one, guys. I mean, they're at 1. There's really not much they can do. They've been stuck on land, and we did actually neuter them a little bit with that, so awesome. Good game. Unfortunately, it looks like some mana issues on their end, but I'm guessing they don't have very many lands in their deck. So that actually turned out to be pretty fun. I was a little worried about the sweeper thing. I still would consider like switching the list up a little bit, so I think we'll definitely look into that. As we play with the deck a little bit more, we'll probably do one more video with just this exact list and just give it a shot again. See where the weaknesses are, and that way we can make some informed decisions in our deck building. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like or a comment down below. Please make sure to check out our Patreon. Our Instagram is down there as well. Make sure to follow us there. We do post content very regularly, and hopefully you guys enjoy that. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next gameplay video.